Good evening, everybody. At least it's an evening for me. Might be morning, good afternoon, whatever's your time. Thank you for joining me. If you're going to join me in the VOD or you happen to pop in on the stream, thanks again. Just going to be a nice, simple chatting stream. I've been dealing with a lot of crap, and especially fighting with the gaming rig that I just recently built. And it's one of those things where I'm just like, you know what, let's just take an easy stream tonight. Let's just chat and we'll do a little Duolingo because I've been slacking a bit. Mostly because work has been like a nightmare, and I just kind of want to give me a good excuse to actually get caught back up a little bit on it, But I thought we'd start off just like some just general chat, and then the last half, because I'm planning on running this till about 1 o'clock, assuming that. Oh my god, I'm gonna start off with this here. So the whole power thing, I sent a tweet out last night because I knew I'd forgotten to, well, I didn't know until I actually sent the message that I'd forgotten to announce the stream. And I'm like, oh, for goodness sakes, Dex, you gotta get on the habit of this thing. But I figured, well, you know what, I'll just jump on anyway. I'll just start the stream and do it anyway. So, I left my night job, got to the studio, and started firing everything up, fired up Raft. And I was noticing that my avatar, what you see of me online here was fine. But when I jumped into Raft, of course, then I started stuttering. The frame rate kind of got choppy, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? And I noticed this on the last Raft stream I did, which I actually did a short on, which actually done pretty good. I'm actually happy with the shorts and stuff. I'm surprised. I really wasn't expecting them to get any kind of traction, which is nice to see. But anyway, I noticed in that one when I was doing the editing, when I looked through it to find the spots that I wanted to clip, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? It's like, why is my frame rate all shitty on this on VTube Studio? So I went back again to the previous stream on Genshin, and the previous stream before that was Raft, and that was silky smooth like right now. And then I went to the Genshin one, and it was silky smooth again. And I'm just going, what the heck happened? Because after I built the rig and I started streaming again with it, no problems at all. Everything was working fine. And then all of a sudden, recently, the frame rate drops because I'm in an app, in the game app, and I don't understand what's going on. So anyway, I'm trying to work on that last night. Before the stream, because I jumped into Raft and I saw that I was getting choppy, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna suck, another stupid stream like this, But I figured, well, you know what, we'll roll with it. Maybe I can drop the graphics down. And then all of a sudden, the power starts flickering, and I'm like, what the hell? Because here's the thing, I'll tell you this. Sorry, I got my Itoen, just so everybody knows. I've got my Itoen Oyocha flavor unsweetened green tea. I've been drinking this. I haven't actually picked up a bottle of sake in a couple months just because I can't justify the cost. I was trying not to spend too much, but it ended up being like, a bottle of sake a month, and it's not bad, but when I have to pay proofers and I have to pay producers and proofers to get the work done, I'm like, I gotta put that money and save it until I actually have a backstock. But where I stream from is not from home. I stream from my recording studio, and that's in an office park. So I have to do that because it's quiet. It's nice, really quiet. My home is across from a factory, and it's a single story, so it noise, and it's real easy to hear the neighbors and all that stuff. So I'm like, I ended up leasing office space, and it's worked out great. I've been here for about 5 years, actually going into my 6th year at the studio here. And hey, morning, Empty. How you doing? Good, thank you for joining me. I'm just kind of going through, talking about some general stuff. Figured I'd just talk randomly for the first half hour, 45 minutes, and then jump into Duolingo at the end of it. But I was trying to talk about last night. I was getting ready for the stream, and the power starts flickering. And now, because I'm in an office park, I get occasional communications from the management company, the property management company, saying, oh, they're going to be doing maintenance on this, they're going to be doing the HVAC this, and it's like, okay, fine. Well, then they sent me an email, like, not yesterday, but the day before, so yesterday was Thursday, so it was Wednesday, saying the power company is going to be shutting down your electricity for the whole park, starting at 1 a.m. and running till 5 a.m. I'm like, well, shit, that's when I do my stream. And if I'm not streaming, it's when I'm recording. I'm like, well, fudge. There we go. I'm going to have to figure something out. But when they said it, I read it and interpreted it that it was going to be tonight. Tonight, 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. So that's why in my one tweet, I'm like, I might have to cut it short at 12:45 because I want to shut everything down. So last night I'm getting ready, fighting with the frame rate of my avatar in VTube Studio, and the power starts flickering. And I'm like, wait, what? What the hell's going on? And the internet cuts out. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. What the hell? The internet? Why the hell is the internet going out? Like, what the heck? And then the power would come back on. It'll be on for like a couple minutes and then be going out again. And I'm like, what the hell? So, and we're talking, this is like midnight. So 15 minutes before I'm going to go live. And I'm like, this is not good. This is not good. My internet went out. It hasn't come back up. So I quickly run out. I run down the stairs, run out the exit. And there I see 3 freaking power company trucks on the pot. I'm like, are you kidding me? Tonight? You're doing it tonight? And I'm like, oh God, what the hell? So I quickly ran back in and I'm about ready to shut everything down, and boom, power goes out. Like complete dead. Everything is like pitch black. And outside, they're onto us. Yeah, oh my goodness. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Maybe they're just trying to tell me something. Maybe, Dex, you need to stop actually doing this because you're not any good. No, I will not. I will continue on being cringeworthy. I will continue making a fool of myself until somebody tells me to stop or until I die. I don't know. But I'm like, oh shit. So I opened up the email and I'm like, oh fuck. Because the way they'd phrased it, I thought that they meant that, oh my goodness. So they said it was gonna be Friday from 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. Now, because of my schedule being weird as shit, because I'm working from usually like 10 a.m. until 4 a.m., I interpreted that to mean like technically it would actually be Saturday, but to me it's a Friday night still. So yeah, I ended up misinterpreting the time that they were gonna do it, and there I'm sitting there in the pitch black. The computer went off before I had a chance to shut everything down, and I'm like, I panic. I turn around, my production computer gone. The production Mac's gone. I'm in the stream. I'm finishing up trying to stream, and boom, that goes. I'm like, oh fudge, are you kidding me? Everything's black. I'm like, I hope to God it didn't blow something out, because I get worried because, when power kicks back on, I've got audio equipment here. I've got, granted, sure, I have a preamp. I've got the interface and the XLR mic plugged into it on both computers. But I have had it where the power company shuts something off and kicked it back on, but there was a power surge. And all of a sudden, boom, my condenser mic blows. No, I mean, not physically exploding, but it shorts out it shorts out either the condenser inside of it or some of the conversion equipment in there. Because this is not like USB built in. This is XLR straight into the interface. But anyway, it shorts the wiring out. And I'm like, fuck, because the microphones aren't cheap, especially because like this is the one I'm using right now, which I've noticed in some of the streams is a little crackly when I get a little too loud. This is actually this used to be my travel rig. So whenever I would go to like, voiceover conferences or stuff, I'd take my portable rig with me so that if I'm in the hotel room, I could still get some projects done, So doing streaming, I was like, you know what? I don't want to have to buy a new mic, and I just put this one on here, thinking everything was all fine. And I didn't catch on to it until after maybe 3 or 4 streams. Actually, actually, it was when I stopped playing Sekiro and started trying to go to more low processor, more low graphic games that I started to notice the slight crackle. And I'm like, well, shit. I thought maybe when I was previewing the Sekiro streams that maybe it was because of the performance of the stream or whatever. And then when I saw it and, everything was moving a lot smoother, I'm like, oh, fudge. That means the condenser's going in this thing. So I'm sure I'm going to have to replace this mic sooner or later here. But I figure I'll roll with it as much, because this is like, this was like this is like a 175 microphone. It's not exciting, not like huge. It's an MXL MXL VO1A microphone, It's one of those nice branded ones by Harlan Hogan, who's a voice actor and stuff. He had his own little shop, and I wanted to support him, so I bought one of his mics. It's been good. I've been using this one because I've been doing VO for 9 years now. So this I started off when I started doing voiceover. I started that on a Blue Yeti microphone, and I'll tell you, the people that say like this was like the way old. This was before the Yeti Pro, and before Blue really got to the point where USB microphones are decent. The difference is jarring between when I listen to the stuff from like 9 years ago. I mean, granted, sure, I've also had a lot of coaching. I'm now in a room that I've an 8 foot by 8 foot room where I've got acoustic foam up. I've got bass traps. I've got the whole thing set up. So very different environment, very different microphone setup. But man, you hear the difference in the microphones, and that was like $100 microphone at the time. So that's nothing crazy. But when you start getting up to working for like, because some of the projects I've done, and I've talked about in previous streams. I know there was somebody who popped in and asked, was it on stream or did they actually make a comment? I think they may have commented on one of the videos, and they said, where have I heard your voice before? And I'm like, this is one of those things where I've said it before. I don't know how much to say because I don't want to dox myself. Which is hilarious because I know there are other VTubers out there like Amelie, Takahata, who are really big VTubers, well, big indies, and they proudly share who they are, And I've been very hesitant on that because, I mean, I'm not like a huge guy. I'm not a huge voice actor at all. This is not like, oh, you're talking to an A-lister. No, I'm at best maybe an H or I-lister. It's like way down. Like, yeah, I've been doing this for 9 years, but that doesn't mean anything. I've been doing like the bread and butter business stuff. So, because when I started off doing, well, I got scammed. Okay, I'll tell you this. I'm trying to minimize what I say because part of me still does not want to dox myself. So I'm not being specific on the projects I've done, because if I start talking about the audiobooks, yeah, you just go on Audible and you look it up, boom. Oh yeah, there he is. That's Dex. That's who he is. And then I don't know what I'd do. It's more or less, I just don't want to get, you hear stories about, take my time. Thanks, FD. I will try to. It's one of those things where I know the internet being the internet, it's going to come out. It's going to come out at some point. Somebody's going to find it. Somebody's either going to choose to. So I kind of say in the streams, like, if you do find out, you figure out who I am, please don't say anything, unless I'm actually really willing to say it, which, the main reason why, yes, I don't want to get doxxed. I don't want, my family to get, anything to happen, because the internet's weird. People on the internet can be weird, and I don't want to take the chance. I'm hoping that the community hopefully the community that we build over the next few years, that, it's not going to be those kind of people, but, I play a little bit of Valorant now. I'm kind of enjoying the game a little bit. And my very first time on it was almost my last, because I really wanted to punch the guy who was on the other end of the mic on the VC. But anyway, the very first gig I ever got as a voice actor. I know how you are. Thank you. Yes, I am. I am Dex. And that's a funny thing. I am Dex. I am Dex Tokuyasu, because this, whether you want to call it a character or an avatar, I use interchangeably. I really was kind of, when I first started, when I debuted, I was really weighing whether or not I wanted to stick with the lore or not. Because crazy enough, I actually have a lore Bible that I wrote. And that's the thing. When I play D&D, I'm one of those guys that will actually write a 32-page backstory for my character. And the DMs either love it or they hate it. I think I actually talked about this in a previous stream too. And I'll talk about one of the games today, because I was talking with one of my old friends who I used to game with. We had been. It's funny, but dude, I should. You know what? Hell with it. I'm gonna show it. Hang on. I'm gonna show not just the lore Bible's not that in depth, because I started rewriting it because I can't help myself. Where's it? Docs. but I'll show you my character, um, my design, what I call a design doc. What's a design doc for Dex Tokuyasu? And this is a document I shared with the artists and the riggers. It's 10 pages long. Because this is the crazy thing. And hang on, let me switch over to the other. I'll do it on the gameplay because I already have that set up to share the screen. So this is it right here. And you'll just see over here 10 pages, baby. 10 pages because I can't help myself. This is light lore. So this is like the whole reason I wrote this up, because I'll tell you, my night job, so to speak, I actually work as an interactive project manager. So I'm a voice actor and interactive project manager that also does graphic design work. So it's nice that I can actually use my graphic design degree for something aside from hanging on a wall. But part of what I do is manage a software development team. So I'm used to writing project descriptions. Hey, Vucky, welcome back to the stream. Nice for you to join me. Hope everything's going good for you. I'm right now just kind of, I ended up deviating into kind of going over how obsessive compulsive I am about when I'm writing up documents and stuff like that. But when I decided to start streaming, I really wanted to debate whether or not to really stick to the lore and play the character, or if I really just wanted to be myself and, and Dex Tokuyasu being, who I am online, but kind of still be more of me than actually, playing into the character. I'll tell you, I actually have a full on, like I mentioned, there is a lore Bible for the world that I came from. So because here's the thing, I have ideas on actually, you definitely became the latter. I did. I've watched other VTubers. Like there was one who I kind of liked, what was her name? Oh God, what was her name? She goes by Bo now, Bo Peep. But she started off as she was a demon. She's on Takahata. If you watch Twitch, the Weary 101, which is Takahata's channel, his streaming channel, he's a voice actor, and it's definitely, the whole thing is like scripted. Now there is a lot of ad-libbing and a lot of improv that they do on there when they have people come in, but the whole thing is really like a scripted show, and I kind of appreciate that. Kim Rai, that's her name. She played the lore a lot, but she's kind of talked about how it became frustrating because the way people treated it and stuff. So I was like, I really, really do have the lore. I really want to play the lore a lot, play the character, and it's to help create content. So some of the stuff I actually want to do, and I had contracted an editor to help me out, and she did the first couple of shorts that I put up there. The one about anime not being common when I was a teenager, and the first anime I loved, she actually found the Bubblegum Crisis footage, and I kind of shot some ideas by her, and she liked them. And one of the ideas was to do so to kind of give an understanding. Let me start with this here, and because, as you guys know, the train of thought has already started to derail off the track, and before it completely careens down the hill, I at least want to get something out of it. But this right here, this is what I shared with the artists. So I shared with Makanian and Kevin X, who's my rigger, and I gave them a bit of a lore. That's how I got here. Oh man. I wanted them to get an idea of a little bit of like slight lore. So like Ray says here, like, I'm from a parallel where the gods are actually real and live among people, many running corporations and or government positions. I was a systems and network penetration tester and property reprocurement specialist. I was joking. It's like, I was not a thief. The train was always in the dirt by the time I got here. Oh my God. I don't know if you saw it or not, but I did the one video about online gambling. And when I found the footage of the train crashing on Back to the Future 3, I'm supposed to be learning. I am. I've actually got, as you can see, boop, I got it open right here. But I thought I'd talk a little bit, and I wasn't expecting to go full on, but yeah, don't worry. I am going to be getting into studying Japanese a bit here. But the lore ties into that because as a kitsune, I don't know if you know a lot about yokai. I've studied a lot about yokai, and Lucky, I think you've been on the streams where I've talked about how long I've been studying Japanese history and the culture and stuff. Absolutely adore it. Oh my god, the Sengoku period's my favorite. Um, but I really love a lot of some of the stuff about the yokai, like Kappa, the Kappa, about the Tanuki, and especially the Kitsune. Kitsune, I obviously absolutely adored. Of course, there's a lot of great art about there, and I haven't shared my desktop, but what really kind of got me, it really fixed me into the idea of being a kitsune was when I watched KDA's first pop star music video by Riot, and I saw Ari, and I'm like, wow, like maybe I am a furry. I don't know. But the reason why I like kitsune is because there's such a rich history, and the fact that there's in Japanese yokai lore, there's two branches. There's the Zenko, which is what I am, who are in direct service to the god Inari. And Inari, of course, is typically the god of mostly associated with finance and economy and that kind of thing and trade. But they were originally the god of farming and agriculture. They have a few domains, but those are the two main ones that I read about. That's the reason also why my avatar has the red scarf, is because red scarves around the shrines, with the Zenko shrines, they'll have scarves around the kitsune. There are statues there, and they'll also put, of course, offerings to the kitsune spirits, which are, oh god, what is that? It's a fried rice. It's really good, and I can't remember what the name of it is. But anyway, a lot of that lore and that history and that I kind of fed into the character. So, I talked about being a property reprocurement specialist, which is basically my job when I worked for Inari, which I worked for the Inari financial conglomerate, which is, again, the backstory. I worked as a reprocurement specialist, which basically meant if something like corporate espionage, something got physically stolen, my job would be to go find it and reacquire it. So I would enter properties, hack into the networks as needed to find it, and then get it back. So that's why I always, when I first started, before I debuted, I kept saying I'm not a thief. I'm not a thief. I'm a like Robin Hood, but I'm like hired, by Inari to do that. So I kind of played into the lore of that and the yokai of kitsune and stuff like that. But I love kitsune because there was both the Zenko and then there are the wild foxes. The wild foxes are the ones that are like malicious towards humans, usually in yokai lore, and the Zenko are the ones that are we're still a little mischievous, but they are directly in service to Inari as messengers and servants. And a good anime that I was surprised was the Helpful Fox Senko, which apparently got a lot of people. I got a little bit of a controversy because they thought she looked very young, and there was something really weird. They thought it was creepy, and I'm like, you actually watch the show and it's so sweet, and I like it a lot. But it really accurately talked about the kitsune culture, how you have the different, as the age go, they gain, and for every 100 years you gain a new tail, and it's supposed to be an element of how powerful they actually are when you get to the 9 tails, which means they are basically almost a god. And the show represented that. Sanko said, yes, yep. And of course, Senko herself, she is actually a Zenko. She is like the ones that would have the most opportunities to interact with humans and help them. And there's, of course, stories about kitsune falling in love with a human, and they're typically Senko kitsune. Then there's I think it's the Miyobu. I think they're the next one up, which is in the show is the white-haired one. I cannot remember her name. It's been a while since I watched it, but she would be the next ranking up. And then there was the one that was like the really busty one. She was really seductive. Maybe she was the Miyobu. But I love the show because it was like so really cool and a really great way of visualizing and showing the history and stuff. So that played a lot into my lore, but I made sure to give the artists a chance to understand what I wanted from the visual representation. And then we can break it down into here. I actually specified hair, fur coloring, the body design, height, weight, muscular but not overly so. I was actually trying to go more for kind of almost like a slight dad bod. But I think it kind of works, but who knows. Then I talked about the outfits, and then there's a lot of like I actually was gonna have like a little mascot. I actually wanted a little robot that kind of, but let's just say money being money. That maybe for like a 1 year anniversary, or at some point I'll do that. But then we talked about the posing, the rigging. I talked about the software I was going to use, the hardware, and then I had all the animations that I want, that the wish list. And so it just went. I detailed, specifically outlined everything I wanted, and then some specific effects that I eventually, which I didn't do yet, unfortunately. Save up for that stuff. What I really wanted to do was actually have it where I could actually have motion tracking on the hands. And then when I'm practicing shamisen, I could actually, because that was one thing I want to do, is eventually have shamisen practice streams. Um, but I wanted to also have a shamisen, art asset, and then be able to play it. That's way down the road. Then once I got the art, I added it to the doc. So this is what I shared with the artists, and it went into the whole, um, you know, it was like like a little dip into the pool of the lore that I had, because I had there's a lot of stuff to the world that I come from, and it's one of those things where I would just kind of like I have a metal hand. Yeah, actually I do. Hang on, let me. It's not so much a metal. It's actually a cybernetic glove. It's an interface. Hang on, let me zip. There you go. Let me see which one's the. There you go. I actually have a facepalm animation. I have facepalm pose. Arms crossed. But yeah, as you can see, my left hand is actually, zoom in a little bit here. There you go. Yeah. So that is actually, I have my, that's the hands on. Where is it? Do I have no, I didn't. Okay. I actually have a, peace sign one, but must not have mapped it to the keys. Is this one here? One of these. Oh, well. So yeah, that is, where's the, oh, I turned off that. There we go. So that's it right there. I do have a metal glove on it. I'd originally spec'd out that I wanted it to be able to retract, like animated. But when I saw the price for that alone, I'm like, you know what? No, I'm cool. I'm just gonna just wear the glove all the time. But yeah, that's yeah, I do have that. I'll actually even show. I don't know if I ever showed or not, but like, I have the two swords. These are actually Makanian did a great job with them, and they actually have in the lore, the edge of the blade is actually a light, small plasma, ignites plasma on the end of it, because primarily, as a property reprocurement specialist, my job is not to kill people. If my philosophy is, if I'm caught, I failed my job, So this is more or less dealing with cybersecurity droids and stuff like that. So that I don't mind. if it gets bad, I might use these on them. But that's why there's and they're not animated. I wish again, but there's supposed to be like a little plasma edge on them when I'm wielding them. And then I've got the boots on the feet here. These are more for like to ensure that I don't get electrocuted if I'm walking on a floor that has electricity coursing through it, like security, or like water where you can they might have a wire in it. So there was a lot of thought put into through the costuming and stuff. But yeah, metal hand. I had the swords. The swords are actually, I think I could map them so I could put them away, but I can't wield them yet, which is I really would love to be able to do. I did that for one of my preview images, and I had to do that in Photoshop, where I had to take my arm and then yeah. It wasn't so much money. Thankfully, yeah, I didn't, I had a budget, and I probably put more money than I should have into it. But my thought process was, if you have one chance to make a first impression, and well, my stream stuttering at the beginning and crashing and all that stuff certainly didn't give a good first impression anyway. But I figured if this is the way I'm going to be known online, I wanted it to look right, So I hired Makanian's the artist who came up with my art. The amazing thing was, it was so cool. I shared the doc with him. This literally was like the first design he came back with, and I was like, dude, you fucking read my mind, man. Oh my god, it was so good when I saw the sketch. I'm like, yes. And he's like, excellent. We went forward with it. The rigger I was supposed to work with, though, Makanian was actually a part of a group where the artist and the rigger were like in the same or group, and you would save a little bit of money. But the problem was the rigger that I wanted, Artemis, wasn't available at the time. I was going to try to get him, but then they couldn't do it. And I was like, all right, so I got to find somebody else. That's when I reached out to another one, Karamomo Kitchen, I think is what they're called. They're really good, but they are very selective of who they work with. And you have to apply. And you submit your character and stuff, and they reply back, kind of said they were interested. I got into the short list, and then I didn't make it through, unfortunately. I got the rejection letter. I'm like, shit. I'm like, what am I gonna do now? And I said, well, do you know anybody who could do this? And they're like, yes. They gave me a couple people, and one of them was Kevin X. And I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, I reached out to Kevin X. And really wonderful guy to work with. He was like, I told him what happened. I said, I thought I was going to have these guys do it, and unfortunately they can't. But they gave me your name. And he was like, oh yeah, let me take. What do you got? And I shared the doc again. I said, this is what I want: 1, 2, and 3. And he was like, I can fit you in. I got an open slot. I can get you in the month. Like, when are you going to debut? And I said, well, I was thinking of doing like the beginning of March at the time. And he's like, I could do it. I'm like, I'll tell you what, I'll push it to the 22nd. And he was like, yeah, I can do that, no problem. I really wish I had pushed it back another month or so, because I've been an artist for 20 years, and I've worked with bad customers, with horrible clients. I had one client. Oh my God, here there's that train of thought again. I had one client. I was doing a logo design for her in-home medical care business, and my philosophy at the time was, I give you 3 designs. This is based on 2 months of me researching your businesses similar to you, in the tri-state area. I want to make sure that none of the logos are being used or could possibly be copyright. So I'm going into the trademark, the U.S. Postmark and Trademark Office, all the research. So I went back with her. I had 3 designs, and she hated them. The funny thing was, I was doing a visual representation of a house. So it was a symbolic representation. It was not meant to be scale, of a scale picture of a house. She wanted the damn thing a scale picture of a house. She wanted the window to be scaled. The window that was in there scaled. The door had to be properly proportioned. I'm like, no, you don't understand what a symbol is. 25 freaking concepts later, she was still not happy with any of them. She had to have it in a week because it was like she had to get it in the yellow pages for some stupid reason. Finally, by that point, we're talking 4 months now had gone by. I wasn't making any money off of this person, and I finally had to die. I just had enough of it. I was so stressed. I was so sick. And then what finally said it for me was, she showed me this logo for a similar organization in the next state over, and she said, I want you to recreate this. And I literally, my jaw opened, and I looked at her. I said, this is another company's logo. She's like, yeah, I don't care. I want you to use this. I'm like, I can't. This is used by another company. She's like, I'm telling you, I want this logo. You're going to do this for me. I said, I'm not stealing the logo. She said, are you calling me a thief? And I literally looked her in the eyes, and I said, if you're telling me to take somebody else's work and make it, yes, you're a freaking thief. And I said, I'm done. I'm calling it a wash. I don't want money from you. Goodbye. And I left. I got home, crashed on the bed, and literally my whole body, all of the stress, I couldn't move. My whole body just all of the tension left, and I just laid like a jellyfish going, holy shit. Like, months of stress gone, and I just laid there for 5 minutes, 10 minutes going, oh my God, what the hell just happened? And the sad part is, they're not the worst client of mine, but that was the one that stuck with me the most. So I say that because when I work with other artists, so when I worked with the editor, when I worked with Makanian, when I worked with Kevin X, I never want to be that client. I never want to be that kind of a client at all, because I'm like, you don't want to put somebody through. These are professionals. These people are professionals. Couldn't you buy someone else's logo? You can, but the problem is, this is where you kind of get into some crazy shit. And then you have copyright and you have trademark. And one of the reasons why I go into the trademark office and I look, because they have a huge library, a database of logos, so that you can look to make sure that somebody else hasn't used something similar to it. Because you can be accidentally inspired by something you happen to see randomly. So by her saying, use this logo. Now, this is a company who was in action, who was working. They had both the trademark and they had the copyright. So you always have the copyright. The moment the artwork is created, you have a copyright. But they had actually registered it with the trademark office. So that was actually their business. Technically, nobody else can use it. You could license it, but you can't change it. Then you get into the whole point where, like, you can make some changes, you can make alterations, but the problem is it has to be different enough that it can't be, the two logos can't be confused with each other. And I wasn't going to take that chance, because there's every possibility, as the artist doing the design work, I could be held responsible in a legal lawsuit. Because when you have a trademark, you have to protect it. That's why a lot of people joke when they say, oh, this company sued this person, on Etsy because they put the logo on there. Well, they're stupid. I can't believe they would do that. Well, if you don't protect the trademark, you would lose it. Because if you let it for one person and you don't do it for other people, well, a company could potentially lose the trademark and then anybody can use the logo. So I get it. But while you could license it, there would be a contract negotiation between this other company and this client for the use of it, but it would have to be used exactly as it is. Otherwise, we'd have to come up with a logo and have to be very different. The two could not be mistaken for each other. And geez, that is shaky ground. I've had designer friends who did something like that, and it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough for a copyright judge. And there are courts who are specialized in copyright trademark. And unlike the civil and criminal courts, these guys move fast. Because these are business courts, and they ain't shitting around. Boom, you're not talking years. I mean, this stuff can get resolved in like months. And as an independent contractor, I am not taking the chance on being dragged into a damn lawsuit like that, and then potentially having to face some part of it because I'm the one that designed it. So yes, you could buy someone else's logo, but that means that person is selling you the trade. Oh, you said specifically buy. Of course she'd blame me. I bet if any troubles come by, she absolutely empty. She was going to blame me because like she struck me as one of those people. I can't say for certain, but another piece of info, she had come to me because another designer had dropped her, but she had phrased it in a way that I believed her, that the designer was refusing to work and wasn't willing to do anything and blah blah blah, and like an idiot. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense, sure. And then sure enough, I'm like, oh no, you're the reason why this designer quit. I totally understand it. But Vucky, you could buy it, but that means the other company wouldn't be able to use it themselves. And this other healthcare company was bigger than her, and they absolutely, because then you get into whole branding. Oh my God. Like when I used to do branding systems for companies, you're talking, at least usually around $8,000 to $10,000, depending on how big the business was that I'd be doing this for. But that would be taking 4 months of straight only working on them. And you're designing the logo, how it's used within certain, like where is it used on a letterhead, where is it used in the envelope, where is it used on in marketing, what particular collateral, what's the color schemes that's being used, what colors are being used where. It's a whole system. So a company as big as the one she was pointing to absolutely would have spent $10,000, $20,000 on a corporate ID system, and they ain't selling that shit. Not for a price she was willing to pay, because she was already nickel and diming me, and 20 designs later, and she's still not happy with it. So you could buy it, but a lot of times she doesn't see the stream. Hey, she doesn't know who I am. And this lady, well, she was already, I don't know, maybe she's dead by now. I don't know. But I don't think she would actually, oh, jeez, I dropped my cup. That's all right. I'll have a drink by then. I'm sure she won't remember who the hell I am. Or maybe she would, because she's so pissed off at me. I dropped her a week before the logo was supposedly due the yellow pages. But this was back, actually when, God, the United States Northeast, this is early 2010s, maybe. This is when the Northeast had a huge blackout for like about a week. And I can remember when it was. Hang on. I can't. I gotta go. 2003. There we go. I knew it. So this was back in 2003. There's 2 viewers here. I don't think he has to worry about her being here. Well, he might. Well, Lucky, he might be actually meaning the VOD because I do actually the streams get archived and they are viewable. But considering the fact, ironically enough, the analytics show that most of my viewers are between 18 and 28. She was way back in 2003. She was absolutely in her 60s. So yeah, she would not. Whether she even knows what streaming is at this point, I don't know. I can't say, I shouldn't say anything like that because for crying out loud, I'm in my mid 40s and I'm streaming, and and I know what VTubers are and I know what anime is, and I'm playing games that most people are like, holy shit, you're in your 40s and you actually want to play these games? I'm like, yeah, I want to try them out. I grew up my whole life. I started in the Atari 2600 and I've been playing games my whole life. So, excuse me. So, God, where did that train of thought derail from? There was something I was talking about before too, and I'm going to have to leave. I'm going to write notes while I'm talking. Good God. All right, so we talked. Okay, so we derailed to a client. Oh yeah, way back voiceover. Yeah. So like the first clients I had, yeah. Okay. So yeah. Okay. Talked about the bad client because I didn't want to be a bad client to the artist that I was working with. That's why I showed him the design doc, and that whole guy talked for about microphones because of the power outage last night. And okay, yeah, I know where the tracks were. Okay, I got you now. But kind of going all the way back, the microphone I'm using right now. Well, that's so where that was going was, I was talking about when I first started streaming. Obviously the character art, all that stuff. The microphone I'm using right now, I found out after the first few streams, I thought that was because my setup was, I didn't know I was doing streaming, and all of a sudden after about 5 streams and listening to the VODs, I realized, the mic is actually starting to go. But this mic I've been using, because I've been a voice actor for 9 years, full time, and when I bought this microphone was after this, in the second year I was doing VO. I was primarily doing e-learning, corporate narration, which is basically promotional videos and stuff like that. I did one for ExpressJet Airlines down in Texas, and there was some I was doing e-learning modules for like the U.S. Navy. I did one for the U.S. Navy. I did one for Mercedes-Benz dealerships, and then there was one for BMW, or was it Audi? They had some e-learning for their new software and their showrooms and stuff like that. I did one for Golisano Sustainable Institute. And then there was regular corporate stuff, which is basically promotional stuff, music videos like that. There was one video game I did way back. That was actually for Casa Health. Jeez, I'm going to dox myself. God. Either way, it was an educational video game. I did the English dub for one of the characters. So I've been doing that. So yeah, this microphone's been going me a long time, and I'm probably going to have to replace it. That was ultimately the point of the conversation. I'm going to have to replace this microphone. But the problem is, I use XLRs, and these aren't the cheapest. I don't want to use USB because the first microphone I had was USB. And back then, the USBs had the converter, the power converter, and the amplifier, I should say, inside the body of the microphone. So it was not uncommon for those USB microphones to have a hum, the electrical distortion. They've gotten a lot better. Certainly gotten a lot better. But there still is a quality difference between having a microphone that is just a condenser microphone, which is what I'm using, versus a USB one that has it, because it's still all self-contained. They've certainly gotten a lot better in quality, but I'd rather just have the microphone because I already have the interface. I've already have XLRs. But anyway, that neither here there. I was kind of like, oh my God, that's what prompted it. All the power issue last night, because the power company was taking the power offline for 5 hours, from 1 to 5. So that's 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5. Yeah, 5 hours. Because apparently they needed to do some service upgrades, and the property management company for where my recording studio is, they were like, okay, well, make sure you guys turn your thermostats off. We're also going to be redoing the HVAC during this time and flushing the system, all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. So I misread it, thought it was tonight that they were going to do the whole thing. And last night, all of a sudden the power starts flickering. And that's what scared me about the microphones, because like I said earlier, I had it where the power company did that once, where the power went out and I didn't get the chance to depower the interface to turn off the phantom power to it, and it popped the microphone, not like visually, but it burnt the circuits out. So I had to end up having to replace like a $200 microphone. So wasn't happy about that. And I really don't want to have to replace microphones again. That is the weirdest train. That is the weird. Holy oh my god. I'm swearing more in the streams. I don't understand why. Like, maybe it's the raft that's actually kind of broke me. I don't know. I thought it was hilarious when I was getting the last short that I put together with a shark. Oh my god, that damn shark. There we go. When I first started streaming, I told myself, I really don't want to be one of those streamers that swears every 5 seconds, you know. I don't want to be afraid of doing it. And like, I mark my streams as like, you know, that they're not made for kids, but I don't want to make the stream like, you know, oh, it's adult only kind of thing like that. That's not the kind of content I'm interested in, you know. But I also want to keep it free where it's like, if I accidentally drop an F-bomb, I drop an F-bomb, you know. Because something might frustrate me. And usually it's with that damn shark and raft. Oh my god, that just scared the crap out of me. Oh my god. Like, it was like the perfect scenario. I go in the cave. I just couldn't believe it happened. I swim in that damn cave. It happens. Yeah, I know. It does. You know, yeah, and it's probably ridiculous of me trying that I care too much about it. Let's not imagine adults only Dexter. Oh my god. Quick side. I have a coworker at my night job who says that to me. She's like, Dex, if you ever narrate an adult novel, tell me, because I don't want to hear it. So I'm like, you don't want to hear me narrating these things? She's like, no, I don't. I was like, oh, really? You don't want me to go? And he grabbed her tightly and whispered into her ear, Marion, I love you. And he rammed his hand up. And she's like, dude, stop it, Dex. I'm like, I couldn't help but laugh. I'm like, oh my god, I gotta stop before this is sexual harassment. Like, sorry, but so yeah. Let's not imagine adults only. Could you imagine if I actually did like an ASMR, like what's his name? He's an Iji Sanji VTuber, Vox Akuma. That's right. He's like the big one over there, the big male VTuber, and he's, oh my god, I've been watching this whole thing with him. Like, I never really he never really clicked with me, which is not surprising because he's apparently very parasocial with his viewers. And the majority of his viewers are ladies, or at least identify female. And he does these ASMR streams where like a date stream and stuff like that. You know, he's role playing as the date. And I'm like, dude, when I first saw this, I'm like, dude, you're asking for trouble, man. You are asking for trouble, because I watched Hololive's an VTuber who did that. What was her name? She was the necromancer. Oh God, shoot, I'm blanking on. I did like watching her because she would like scream and rage, and it was funny when she did it, but you just started to see the cracks around it. But then Vox got in trouble because one of his friends, who was in Niji Sanji as well, she was a VTuber. She apparently interrupted the ASMR stream to ask him about some Five Nights at Freddy's questions, and his chat ripped into her something frightening. Like, they targeted her on Twitter, they went after her DMs and YouTube or something like that. And I'm like, you know, doing ASMR, I've wanted to do a little bit of ASMR, but I do not want to do. I don't think doing role playing is safe, because it can be taken so far out of context, and I don't know of any good way of doing it. Because I listen to ASMR a lot. There's a couple ASMR artists I love. ASMR Zeitgeist is one I listen to. So for the VOD, if anybody wants, ASMR Zeitgeist is a great one. Another one's good is BB ASMR. She's really good. Damn you, bro. I heard about that. Yes. Yeah. Yep. Vox. And the worst part, too, this is what pisses me off about him. I'll tell you this right now. He wants to run a stream the way he does, fine. Great. No problem at all. And I'm not going to start any kind of a war between him and me. Although, ironically enough, lore-wise, here's a funny thing, really quick. Lore-wise, he hates Tokugawa Ieyasu, because supposedly in his lore, Tokugawa Ieyasu is responsible for his death. And my name, Dex Tokoyasu, is a portmanteau of Tokugawa Ieyasu. Um, that's where I came up with the last name. Because again, I love studying Sengoku period. Tokugawa Ieyasu is my favorite of the unifiers, even though he did some pretty nasty stuff too, just like Oda Nobunaga and Toyotomi Hideyoshi did. All three of them did some pretty bad things if you think about it. But I did like a lot of the stories about Tokugawa Ieyasu being the Sly Fox. But anyway, that's where my name. So lore wise, he and I actually, if he knew who I was or anything like that, and he found out lore wise, he and I could have a quote unquote rivalry or whatever, and I'd be up for that kind of a role playing kind of thing. You don't know who those people are? Oh, the three people I mentioned are from Japanese history, from the Sengoku period, which that was the 1300s, the 1200 1300s. It was back before Japan was a unified nation, and the Sengoku period is when these three guys came to power. Oda Nobunaga, who I actually found out from the game Nobunaga's Ambition, which is on Nintendo and the NES, which is actually an interesting strategy game where you actually seek to unify, and it's a lot about logistics and stuff like that. But anyway, he was the first one, and he unified the country by force. He amassed an army. He went against all the other daimyo, who were the individual rulers of their territories, which I guess we now call prefectures. There was no shogun at the time. There was the emperor, but there was no shogun. And Oda Nobunaga was the one that tried to bring the country together through force. And he was successful, but it was still tenuous. The person who replaced him was Toyotomi Hideyoshi. Toyotomi Hideyoshi was at the time was a young man. He was a kid actually, and he tried to continue unifying the country through politics. By Dex by Lucky Busy Day. Oh, good to see you, Empty. Thanks for stopping by. So he continued trying to unify the country through politics. Tokugawa Ieyasu, who was the third of the unifiers and the final one, I believe, if I remember correctly, he assassinated Toyotomi Hideyoshi, who was somebody he swore to protect. And even though he did that, he finished unifying Japan and actually created the shogunate system, the Tokugawa shogunate, which is basically what most of Japanese society, which is the hierarchy, where you had the class system. You had the samurai, you had the samurai, you had the peasants, and you had the priests and stuff. And Tokugawa Ieyasu was ruthless. He drove all the Christians out of Japan. He tried to control, I think he was the one who tried to control Buddhism and Shinto. Shinto was the the religion of Japan at the time. But he did everything he could to establish and make sure that there was no competition against the shogun, which was him. The emperor was still there, but basically the shogun had all the military power, and the emperor became more of a figurehead under the Tokugawa shogunate. So those are the three people that I was mentioning. They were big in that time period, and that's a time period I loved studying. I still love studying about it. But anyway. Hang on, I'm going to take a drink here. Oh my god. But anyway, Empty's gone. But Vox was another VTuber, Niji Sanji, and he's kind of got himself in trouble a little bit because he allows his chat to up until this whole thing broke, what I was talking about, where the friend of his, who's also another VTuber, Niji Sanji, got attacked by his chat. These ladies went after her because they were irritated that she broke up the date, So there was that parasocial thing. And Vox actually had to come out and kind of chastise them, saying, we're not dating, we don't know each other, you need to stop this, And he kind of called the chat out, which was, it took him a bit to do it, but recently he went on Twitter saying, we are dating, we are in a relationship. And I just saw that. I'm like, dude, you just basically undid everything they went after your friend about that, and you're now going back on this. So that's why I was kind of talking about, he does ASMR role-playing dates and stuff like that. And he was going to do one from a shower. And I'm like, Okay, this is moving beyond what I would even ever think about doing. That is not the kind of character that I'm trying to put forward. I am trying to put the nice, comfy, kind of calm, kind of you know relaxed, easygoing kind of guy. I'm not trying not to do anything too crazy, but anyway, since it's 110, I do want to get some Duolingo in. So let me jump into this. This is the funny thing. I don't know, Lucky, if you are aware of like the Duolingo switching up their interface. I have two accounts. I have one for myself as my non-Dex Tokuyasu, my real life identity, and I have this one here, which is my Dex one. And the funny thing is, they were both different. So my IRL one had switched to this whole now story, this whole path progression interface. But my Dex one here was still the traditional one where it's like you could you branch off and you follow what you want to do and how you want to do it, and you could choose to do stories or not. Only a couple of days ago, this switched over. I was like, I was wondering how long it would be until they switched this account over. But let's see, this one, where am I here? So this is actually in the section, describe your family, ask about food. So the characters, I'm actually, in the IRL one, I'm actually gone through all the way down to like the small now, but I got to go back through it. So basically I'm doing everything twice here. But I was really happy when they actually added this. It's a lot easier to do on the mobile because I can actually draw on my iPad with the Apple Pencil, so I can get some writing practice in too in the hiragana and katakana. But now this is actually categorized. This is actually like describe your family, ask about food, whereas each of the circles previously would be like food 1, food 2, transportation 1, transportation 2, color this. So I think this might be a better way of teaching or me learning, but we'll see. This one is ask about food, lesson 2 of 7. So I have not been doing good this week. Which of these is yen? Oh god! And I keep telling it to not show me. I don't want to see the pronunciation because I want to do this right. So this is yen. So it's N. I gotta remember that. Yeah. Yaku en des. It's 100 yen, if I believe. Des. It is 100 yen. This is what's it? Ichiman sen yaku. Ichiman sen yaku is I think 11,100. Here we go. Sen yaku yen des. So this would be 1,000. Do it. 1,100 yen. 1,100 yen. Des. It is 1,100 yen. Oh, this is okay. This is interesting. Okay. So when I first studied this, when it's talked about the yen and money, it started off by starting me off on Ichiman sen yaku yen des. So it started off the full 11,100. This is actually going the other direction, starting off at 100 now. So that was yen ichi. So this is it is 10,000. Okay, what's the number here? 10. Is it 100? Ichi. Was it? What was it again? Ichiman. Yeah, this is a Ichiman sen. No, sen would be 100. No, yaku is hayaku is 100. Sen is 1,000. So this is definitely 10,000 yen. Okay. Okay. There we go. Ichi. Oh, this is I hate this. No, that's not. No, I'm doing that. Ichiman sen. Ichiman sen hyaku. Hyaku. Where's yaku? Yes. See, this one, the yaku throws me off because to me this looks like shiro, but I know shiro doesn't have the line at the top. It's just the stem off of it. Yeah. Okay. Yay! 5 in a row. Ichiman senya. This is actually nice because now this is forcing me to think because otherwise it was just repetitive. Ichiman sen yaku yen des. This is it is okay. This is definitely 11,100 yen. Nope. Shoot. Okay, I gotta be careful because I gotta click this side. This is N, which is that. Kazoku. Sen. Oh god. Ichiman Sen. Yen. Yeah. Okay. It's Hyaku. glad you're enjoying this. I do not know any Japanese. um, I kinda. Well, thank you. I kinda. Oh, I've been trying to. Okay, I've been trying to study Japanese since I was like 14 years old, but that was before iPhones, and the only application at the time was literally Rosetta Stone, and that was you had to buy the headset. It was like $500, and it didn't. I bought it, and it did nothing for me. Kazoku, hyaku, uh, sen. Oh shoot, this is men, uh, man, sen. There we go. Ichiman sen yen. Okay, this is 11,000. It is 11,000 yen. Because it would have been, if it was this, if it was 11,100, it would have been Ichiman sen, how was it? Ichiman sen yaku? Yeah, it would have been yaku. Okay. I already did one lesson before the stream because I was like, I didn't want to lose my streak because in Duolingo, they give you is it two? No, if you have streak freezes, you could lose your streak, and I don't want to really lose my streak because in this one here, I've got a 170-day streak, but as you can see, I missed 2 days, and I wasn't about to lose another one and have to restart over with a 1. So all those commercials meant nothing. It was, I have used so many different types of learning programs. When I first started, again, I didn't buy Rosetta Stone until I was out of college because it was freaking expensive. And supposedly it was what the government used for their foreign translators and people who stationed abroad and stuff like that. Fine, great. I thought that was great. That worked. The damn thing didn't do work for me at all. It did not work for me at all. It was supposed to be immersive, but it didn't explain anything. Like, I did a bunch of lessons and it never explained to me sentence structure. It never explained to me the difference between wa or no or ni, the different connecting, whatever you call them, pronouns or no, not pronouns, whatever they're called. And it drove me nuts because I was stuck still learning basic damn phrases, like hajimemashite, nice to meet you. Great. But, I didn't know how to actually make a sentence. It wasn't until Duolingo that I actually started to understand sentence structure and actually was starting to, now I just need to build a vocabulary, really. But the very first thing I had to use was, oh my God, I should actually get one out and put a photo of it. A workbook. I had to use workbooks. And that was a nightmare. I just cannot learn from workbooks. I need something like this. So when Duolingo came out, I was like, thank God. And it actually works for me. Hiru. That is data, I think. Hiru. That is this one. The interesting thing with a computer, doing this on a desktop, if I do Duolingo on an iPad, I can actually, I have a Bluetooth keyboard that I use on my iPad. And the cool thing is because I set it up on the iPad to actually do what's called the Romaji keyboard. Romaji means that the Japanese kana, so this is hi and ru. This would be spelled in English Hiru. Hiru. You can in a Romaji keyboard, you can type out hiru, and it changes it into the kana for you. So the cool thing is with Duolingo, I can do that, type it in, and actually practice the actual characters too. Granted, it's not the same thing as actually writing it out, but and would be sen. Oh God, this. I'm gonna get this wrong. Yep. Man. This is this ha no okay. Ban. Oh, that's right. This is ban. Bangohan. which is a that's breakfast. Bango. Oh my god. This is ban, which is this. Yeah. This is Thai, I think, in katakana. Ban. This is no. Jeez, idiot. Ban. You think you know enough Japanese to touch someone in Japanese? This is a cool thing. I don't know if you've ever been on the streams where I talked about it. My sister-in-law is actually Japanese. She's from Aomori Prefecture, and she's married into the family, obviously. And God, she's been in the family for 10 years, 12 years. When he brought her around to the people in the family to introduce her to all of us, he actually told her, "Well, here's Dex. He's actually the one I was telling you about." And she was like excited. And I found out I'm the only one in the family that was actually studying Japanese history and stuff like that. So he told her about me, and she was excited because here's somebody who's actually trying to learn, who knows a little bit of history and language. Over the years that she's been in the family, I've gotten a lot better. And recently, in the end of August, I went down for a week to their house in Virginia and spent a couple days there. And it was so cool because for the first time, I was having, granted, they were kind of like broken conversations, but I was actually having conversations in Japanese with her and her husband too, even though he's American, and was understanding each other. Like we were like there was one point we were sitting at the table, well, the counter, because they have a sit down, they have one of those eat at countertops in the islands, I should say. And we were having a yakisoba, I think it was, and there was this condiment in the middle of the table. I had no idea what it was, and it was like a tube of some paste, and it had an orange top on it. And I wanted to ask what it was, but I was so determined to speak in Japanese because they have two daughters too who absolutely love the fact that their uncle is speaking Japanese. So it's more than just their father. There's another one in the family who actually speaking Japanese. So I look at him and I say, what am I going to call him? I call him Kamran. I say, Ran-san. He goes, Nani? And I said, Kore wa nan desu ka? And kore wa means that. And kore wa nan desu ka is basically, what is that? And I pointed at and I didn't know what to say, bottle. I don't know if it was botoru or what it was, tube was. And he was like, he looks at me, he looks, I think he knew what I was doing, but he looked at me and was like, Nani? He's like, what? And I go, and I'm like, shit, he's asking me for more detail. And I remembered that the color orange is orange. And I said, orange. He's like, and he said, it's a hot sauce. He's like, it's a hot sauce. I'm like, oh, cool. So I said, so it's karai. And he's like, hai, karai desu. I'm like, so. So it was really cool. So I can talk to somebody in Japanese, but it's still to the point where I cannot fully express myself. I think if you were to take me and drop me in Japan, I'd probably survive. But it's really a confidence thing. I'm not gonna. I know like basic words here and there. Like I know taxi. I know like country names. I know train, car, bicycle. But being able to say, I'm going to run out to the store for a moment, I couldn't do that. So I've gotten a lot better, and I can actually get my point across. But this is one of those things where they're like, "Oh, look at this sweet guy Kukujin actually speaking Japanese. That's so cute," Although she's a lot nicer about it because she actually teaches Japanese to kids, and she loves it when I try and text her on it, and she'll correct me on it. I'm like, thank you. It's like, arigato, gomen, because I forgot to use the in the character. I'm like, okay, and man, sen, hiru. There's hiru. Lunch. This is the okay. So this is the breakfast. Is that bangohan? This is bangohan. Hiru gohan. Okay. Oh yeah, there's hiru right there. Hiru gohan. So that's lunch. This is probably bangohan. Asago. This is bangohan. So dinner's bangohan. Asagohan. Hiru gohan. Okay. Nope. Lunch. Hiru gohan. Oh, hiru gohan wo tabemasu. I eat lunch. I eat lunch. So this is hiru gohan, ban gohan. This is asa gohan. Asa gohan. Okay. Gozen hachiji ni asa gohan o tabemasu. Okay, so this is I eat. Oops, I eat. Was it asa gohan? Okay, so I eat breakfast at. How was it? Hachiji? Okay, so I eat breakfast at 8 a.m. I eat breakfast at 8 a.m. Yeah. So I think I can understand Japanese better than I can speak it, but that's mostly because confidence. I am very, and that's the funny thing. When I was actually down there visiting them, I was so nervous to speak Japanese, and it's like their family. They know I'm studying Japanese. They know I. I mean, she and I actually got into this whole long, like 30-minute conversation about the Sengoku period because she actually likes that period of study too, and she brought this cool. I should actually post a picture of it. She brought this pamphlet back from Japan, which is this it's in the States. You know how there's the Gettysburg reenactors, like Civil War reenactors and stuff. Well, they have one like that for the Sengoku period, and it's really cool. They had full costumes. They had, and one side is like the ninja, and then the other side is the samurai. And it was really so cool. I'm like, I should. I did never thought about posting a picture of that, but it was really cool. She was showing me that. She's like, "Oh, you have to go see this when you." She keeps saying when you go to Japan, and I'm like, I would love to be able to afford going to Japan, especially now that they finally open it up. Uh, so this is asa gohan, o hiru gohan, ban gohan. Okay, ban gohan o tabemasu. I eat dinner, or I will eat it. So the menu, that menu. See, this right here is hiragana. These two, and this is katakana, which is used for non-Japanese words. So like English words usually would be like in katakana, which is even even their daughters, because um, their daughters actually go with their mother back to Japan for like about 4 months, 5 months, and they actually attend school over there. And their oldest daughter was like, she was showing me some of the work she was doing, and she was like venting a little bit. She's like, I hate katakana. And I looked at her, I said, you have no idea how much I hate katakana too. It's so annoying. Okay, so sono isu wa ikura desu ka? Sono isu wa no 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 isu wa doko desu ka? Ikura desu ka? Ikura desu ka? Sono isu wa doko ikura desu ka? I think this is sono. How many chairs are there? Oh, how much is that chair? Ikura is how much, right? It's when you're buying something. Kono asagohan oishi desu. So oishi is tastes good. So this asagohan, this breakfast tastes good. Delicious. Yeah. Kono bangohan wa oishi desu. Oh, did they break it up? Yep, they did. Wa oishi desu. Yes. I'm surprised it hasn't asked me itadakimasu yet, or gochiso sama deshita. Itadakimasu is let's eat, and gochiso sama deshita is thank you for the food, which you always say before and after you eat meal there. Kono asagohan wa oishi desu. Kono beautiful. Okay. Oh, I didn't want to kids. Okay. Oh, that was the end of the list. Okay, cool. Explode skybooks to keep phrases. Did I actually do that? Yeah. Okay, so I did get purple there. I thought. Oh wait, nope. That's my IRL account that actually has a purple. That I have to do the purple for the link. Just so you know, whenever you do Duolingo, this is I've paid for the account, so you have the ability to turn these things purple, which means, excuse me, You go through and you get this whole now with this whole section, you get these all gold within a unit, and then when you get here, you have the chance to actually bump it up to the purple level, which means that you've mastered it, I guess, or something like that. I don't know. It's a nice way to kind of reinforce stuff. But the hard part is with the purple. I don't know if you saw. I'll show you really quickly here. You shokudo. Shokudo. Oh crap. Shokudo. Nope. Shokuyoku. Dang it. There it is. Shokudo. Hiru. En. Shokudo. Sen. Oh, shit. Yeah. Steaki. So steaki. Okay. So what I was trying to say was this dotted line here, steaki wa tabemasen. I don't. This basically says I don't eat meat. It's like I do not. Let me finish this. This is the thing too. Like in the iOS, like on a mobile, you can actually take this and move it around, but on the web you can't. Like it's stuck. I do not eat steak. What I was saying was, let me lock this in. You can actually hover over, and it shows you that. So you can actually kind of look through that to get the help. But when you get to the purple level, it turns that off. So you don't have that crutch, which is good. Mazui this. Mazui, it doesn't taste good. It's bad. No, it's bad. It tastes bad. Yeah. Which desk? Which desk is it? Yeah. Dono teburu wa desu ka? Dono teburu. Oh, there's no wa. Desu ka. Which table is it? Kore wa mazui desu. This tastes bad. Koko wa shokudo desu. Shokudo is cafeteria, I think. Koko wa shokudo desu. That's Koko is location. This is a cafeteria. This is a cafeteria. Yes. Okay. I'm sorry. What? This is Ega. I think it's Ega. And de onegaishimasu. Okay. So this is saying. Onegaishimasu. Onegai is please. I think this is asking like speaking English. Please speak in English. Please speak English. Okay, so no in. Yeah. Eiga de onegaishimasu. Because onegaishimasu is please, basically. Tsukue wa ikura desu ka? Ano is if I remember correctly. Because it's interesting. This is the interesting about Japanese too, is that things like we do, like or like even like or is said differently in Japanese. It's like you have ano, and there's a few other ones that I'm just blanking on them right now. But like ano is one. Ano sa, or you can say sa, which is yes, yeah. So it's just weird because like I always thought like when they say I thought that was universal, and it's not, surprisingly enough. How much is that desk? How much it this. No. How much is that desk? How much is that desk? Yeah. Yeah, that. Okay. Oh, tea doesn't taste bad. My tea tastes good. Kono ocha wa uishi desu. But this one is this tea tastes bad. That's mazui. This tea tastes bad. Teburu wa ikura desu ka? How much is that table? How much is that table? Yes. Shokudo de asagohan o tabemasu. Shokudo. I eat. I eat breakfast at the cafeteria. I eat breakfast or in the cafeteria. Uh, okay. This is sono. Okay, so this is interesting. Okay, so sono tsukue wa ikura desu ka? Yep. Okay. Let's see. I eat lunch at the cafeteria. I'll be honest. When I was doing Duolingo, a lot of times it does repetitive. It does a lot of repetition, but the changes they made, I think are actually a lot better. Oh, I could actually use keyboard. This is interesting, and it's a little frustrating in that you can't use the keyboard for everything. Like even on the mobile, you have to. It varies. Like clicking on the kana, or you can type in. And I think they do that so you don't get you can you don't rely on one method. I think, but I'd love to do this, but I don't have the Romaji keyboard set up, and I'm not about to bust out the Japanese keyboard I have because that is a nightmare to try to learn. Eat lunch at the cafeteria. I think this is how did this start? That's dore. No, dore is where. De. How much lunch? It's um. Ohirugohan. Yeah, I think it is. Let me see. Nope. Ohiru gohan. Okay, yeah. So shokude de asago ohiru gohan o tabemasu. Yes, okay. It might take me a little bit, but I'll figure it out. What do we got? That's not too bad. I'm gonna okay, 63 XP. That's not bad. I want to do a little bit more. It's 137. Can I actually? How many do I have left in this? This is lesson 5 of 7. I might be able to finish this one tonight. Let me give this one a shot. Or maybe no. Maybe I should do some characters too. Well, let's do this and see how we go. Which of these is cold? This is no Samui. Samui. No, Samui is hot. I think. I know it's Tai. I know the last three are T, Ta, and E. I should know. I should know cold. I know. Sumitai. That's right. Sumitai. What you got sumitai desu? I do like iced tea. The tea is cold, but the tea is cold. Sumitai. Okay, this is mazu. This is no. Samui. No, atsui. Atsui? What's samui? Fire? Heat? Gohan wa atsui desu. So the rice is hot. The rice is hot. Atsui. Tamago ga tsuki desu. Well, I don't like eggs, but yeah. This is I like eggs. Tamago is egg. Got tsuki is I like. Yep. Niku tsuki janai desu. It means I do not like meat. I don't like meat. Yeah, niku is meat. Sakana is fish. Yep. Mizu ga tsuki janai desu. Mizu. Nope. Mizu. Oh, Mizu is what? God, I'm looking right at it. Mizu wa tsuki jen. Nope. Nai desu. Yes, I do not like water. Kamera ga tsuki desu. I like camera. I like my camera. I like cameras. It wouldn't be my though, because that would be like kochira. No, anata. Maybe anata. No, anata is yours. I think it'd be ano. Ano kamera ga tsuki desu. I probably would say it like that, which means I like my camera. Or it'd be like watashi. Set the correct. So this is ski. So ski. Nope, not even right. Jeez. Ski. Ooh. Okay. So it's got AM. So we're already starting off with gozen. Gozen hachi 30. So it's jihan. Gozen hachi jihan ni okimasu. Oh, the bread's hot. I do like a hot bread. Oh my god. Why did this Texas Roadhouse? I had the chance to eat there like it's been a long time since I've eaten at a restaurant because I don't want to spend the money. But man, I splurged on Texas Roadhouse. I forgot how good those rolls are. Oh my god. Oh man, those sweet rolls. I think they said that the butter is like pumpkin spice. It's really good though. I'm sorry. What was this again? Sumetai gohan wa arimasu. So this is the rice is cold. Oh, this is cold rice. There is cold rice. Huh. Sumetai gohan ga arimasu. So arimasu is there. So okay, okay. Atsui. Ski. Not letting go of the currency. And this is sumetai. This is man. Mizu ga tsumetai desu. Mizu ga tsumetai. The water is cold. This is cold water. The water is cold. Yasai wa suki janai desu. I don't like vegetables. Like vegetables. I don't mind vegetables. I think they're pretty good. Some do. I'm still a picky eater though. Kamera wa suki desu ka? Do you like cameras? Do you like cameras? I do kind of like cameras. They're kind of cool. Oh, actually, that's another thing I take a photo of. I got this really old 35 millimeter camera I bought from a place. It's like one of the, oh man, I think it's a video camera that's like really from like the 50s. I don't know why. I saw it looked cool and I bought it. That was before I was even born. Hell, a couple decades before I was born, but really cool looking. Yasai wa suki janai desu. Ski. The bread, so it's not kono because that would be this bread. Panga. So this is pan. Yeah. Oh, shoot. Atsui? Yes. Yay, perfect. All right, nice. Ooh, 78 XP. 78 XP, gonna make it. What was the most I did? When was that? Tuesday? 147 XP. What the heck did I do Tuesday? Man. And then I did none on Wednesday. I did like 12 on Thursday. Yeah, that's about right. Okay, Yasui. 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 Oh, it was this one. It was that one. Yasui. So this one's actually okay. So that's this is Ongai. This is Yasui, which has that, and this kind of compresses it down a bit. It's almost like squishes this down. The cap on it. Yasui. Ban. Oh. Hiru. Karai. Oh crap. Kirai. That's ki. Okay. Yasui. Amai. Keiki. Yep. Takai desu. Takai. It is takai. It's not sweet. It's expensive. It is expensive. Takai. Sweet is the Hoshi is one. Sweet is shoot. I'm blanking on it right now. Sakana ga kirai desu. Oh, like the sakana ga kirai desu. Well, kirai is another way of saying I don't like. So I do not like sakana fish. Yasai wa yasui desu. Yeah. Vegetables are cheap. Kono gohan wa amai desu. Oh, take care, Vucky. Have a good weekend, man. See you next time. And thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Hope I didn't go too crazy on the tangents. Kono gohan wa amai desu? This rice is amai. Sweet. That's what. I eat sweet bread. Amai pan. Oh, nope. Oh, tabemasu. Niku wa takai desu. Takai desu. Meat is expensive. Meat is expensive. I'm really trying not to look first. I'm trying to that's why I keep looking off the side. I'm trying not to look at the words available because I want to make sure I know it. Spicy is karai. Watashi menu keiki kudasai. Is the cake sweet? Is the cake sweet? Kirai. Sugarfoot. What was it? Crap. Nope. I should have gone with that one. Sen. Amai. Why did I do that one? Amai. Nope. It's this one here. Atsui. My God. Pay attention, Dex. Yasui. My God. Takai niku wo tabemasu. Takai niku wo tabemasu. I eat takai. Expensive meat? Eat expensive meat. I don't know if I would ever phrase it. I eat expensive meat. That's just kind of like, that's like egotistical, man. Like, oh, look at me. I can afford expensive meat. Are wa yasui desu ka? Yasui. 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 Amai is yasui. Is it cheap? Is that cheap? Yes. Yasai wa yasui desu. Yasai desu. Yes. I do like to. Ocha ga. No, it depends. What is it? It's gonna be kirai desu. Ocha ga desu. Because you could skijanai. Because you say skijanai, you don't say karai. So I'm sure I was gonna look up to see whether that's like which is more formal or not. Isn't the guidebook? My family. How's the family? Ask about food. Okay. Does it talk about? I do not like. Okay, so this is yasai wa skijanai. Ski desu. Skijanai desu. Don't like it. Kono. Does it actually? Okay, hang on. Near the speaker. Oh yeah, this has been throwing me off too. I tell you, because you got this near the speaker, near the listener, far from both question words. So you have kore. Kore is near. So it's saying to me if it was like saying this keyboard, kore wa keyboard desu. You know, so there would be this, or my tea here. Kore wa ocha desu. This is tea. I'm seeing here. Sore wa is over there. Yeah, sore wa near the listener. Okay. Are wa is way over to the other side. Like, okay, over there. Hey, over there, dude. You know, are wa. Soko, that they're that. Sono, kono. Okay. And dono is like where. So yeah, dore wa which, Doko, where, and dono. Yeah, okay. All right. So it didn't really say whether Skijanai or Skijanai or what was it? What was the other one? What was the other one? Dang it. I'm really blanking right now. This is the worst part. Home. All right. What do we got left? Last lesson. All right, I'll do this and then one for the characters and then one for the night. So. Try the hardest. I will. Ichiman Senya. This is 1100. It is 1100 yen. Let's do that right. It is 1100. Because this will slap. Shit. I knew it was 11th. Oh my god. I looked right at it. I don't know why I did that. Bun. N. Bun. No, damn it. Man. Hiru. Sen. Karai. Dono iso dono. So it's like which chair is it? Which chair is it? Steaki. This is a menu. Steaki. Karai. Oh, they put the desne, which is, isn't it? Like, you know. So this kono, this tea is spicy, isn't it? This tea is spicy, isn't it? Kono. Oh, asa gohan wa uishi desu. This breakfast is delicious. So they had the bun, and they also had the asa. Nice. Atsui ochi desu. It is the atsui ochi desu. Atsui is hot. The tea is hot. Tea is hot. Oh, it is hot tea. Damn it. Des. It is. Yeah, des is it. Shokudo. Oh. Wait, shokudo. Okay. De ohiru gohan? Tabemasu. 部屋には、部屋には、100人、100? 100? Oh, hi, hey, Akbar, how you doing? Safely, welcome. First time, huh? Cool. I'm just studying Japanese right now. I'm going to be wrapping it up soon because I did the full lesson, but I'm going to do one of the hiragana, so just so you know. But thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Hope you enjoy. 100人、100人がいます。nope, 人がいます。Okay. Oof. 午前11 11 1 G にお昼ご飯を食べます。Okay, cool. Oh, geez, I completely forgot to turn it on. Oh my god, thank you, dude. That sucks. Nobody else reminded me. Yeah. No, I usually do have. There you go. Man, this whole time. Oh, you know, I'm willing to bet because at the start of it, for like an hour, I went off on this ridiculous train of thought, and it was just like one after another. So we probably didn't even pay attention to it. So thank you for pointing that out. I'm sorry that it was like so quiet. I didn't mean it to be quiet. I usually do have a BGM. I've actually got 2 different BGMs depending. This is the calmer one. There's another one. I don't know if I have it. Oh yeah, no, that's it. Breath of Planet. I got another one that I sometimes use. Okay, so this is Ichiman. Ichiman Sen Yen. It is 11,000 yen. Oh, dude, I am. Oh yeah. Normally I do, but in this interface here, the last game I played had a lot of background music, so I usually turn it off, and I totally forgot. I decided to use the gaming interface for this, so yeah. usually I have the BGM going, so I'm sorry about that. I didn't even notice it when I was in my chatting screen. Man. Oh man. Atsuyocha desu. It is hot tea. There we go. Yeah, you think I'm new at this now? I haven't been doing this in March. Oh well. At least my microphone's on. Good God, I've had that before. At least not this late. All right. Oh, what's this? Open. Oh, I got a lingot. Nice. Okay. All right. So I was gonna do character. All right. Let's go with character. New. This is new. Key. Ru. Oh. God. It's so. Nuru. Hima. Rusu. Taru. Nuka. I really wish it would actually say what the definitions of these are, because some of these words are interesting. Shiru. Himo. Hoshi. Himo. Tsukihi. Okay. Hosoi. Oken. Okay. Heat. Hard exercises is really hard, but then I have another account that I've actually been doing for like 3 years, so some of this is old, and I'm trying to get caught back up on my VTuber one here. Do. Ha. Ma. Oh, darn it. That's ma. Ho is this one. He. Sa. Oh, that's no. Sa. Du. Numa's chi. Numa. Pay attention. Uru. Rusu. Ma. Ru. Ki. Ru. Mahi. Hikari. Ri. Man, the funny thing was I was learning Japanese kana, and the apps I was using had some of the characters as a continuous brushstroke, and then I found out some of them are not like that. Ri. It's. I'm still trying to figure that out there. Yurui. All right. What's her what? Hirune. That's why it sounds like do. Okay. Oh. Numachi. Numachi. Haruka. Ashiru. Hikui. Hiruma. Himitsu. Himitsu. If you don't mind me asking, what made you stop on by? Was it just like pop up in the search? Or were you looking for something like just chatting streams? I always forget to ask. Like, Numa. Because I'd really like to know, especially what people are interested in. Yay! I think I'll do one more. Yeah. Hey, that's it. Mu is this one? Wait, what? De? Oh crap. This is Mu. No, this is new. Dekishi. Kare. Yeah. Heya niwa. Oh, nice. I showed up on the recommended. Okay. Oh, cool. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's always nice to have people that actually kind of like go through to us. Like you said, low review counts. There you go. Eso. Noki Yama Hamura. Oh. Sore. No worry at all, man. When I watch VTubers or other streamers, I lurk in the background too. So I totally appreciate that. So no worry. Rekishi. Mukashi. Nope. Just pay attention. Areshi. Jeez. Okay. No. Ya. Ya. No. Mu. Re. Hi. He. 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 Say what? Ho. Re. Heya. Heya niwa. Heya, that's room. Mure. Shia. Yama. Noru. Hamu. Heso. Rekishi. Rekishi. Yes, history. Oh, okay. Yasui. Hekomu. Tano. There's Tanomu. Rekishi. Yaoya. I thought I was gonna say yaoi. I'm like, oh my god, that's that one. Konya. Henga. Konya wa. I don't want to get copyright claim on my channel again. No mi no mo. What I didn't know? Oh, no mi. Okay, no mi mono. Oops. No mi mo. Drink. No mi mono. So no mi is to drink. No mi mono, a drink. Huh. Okay. Nice. All right. Perfect. You know what? I'm gonna do one more, and then I'll wrap it up for the night. Yo, me. That was new. Oh, that's whoa. So, no, this is oh. Yeah. To. Ame. Oh, Amelia Watson. Toshi. Ume. Kiyo. Yome. Oto. Yoru. Roku. 6. Ame. Ka. There we go. Ame. Yosan. Ronri. Yoai. Okay. Ro. Oh my goodness. Okay. Ro. That's ru. It's ro. O. That's so. Mo. This is sa. O. It just has the little. Okay. Me. Ho. It's that one there. Ro. And yo. Tori. That's one of the ones with the gap in the middle. It's fine. Fuyo. Hato. The interesting was finding out from my what are they called? Nieces. my nieces who are Japanese because their mother's from Amori. They're the ones that told me that like that the breaks in the ri and the fu and stuff, like that's actually the way it's written. That threw me off. Man, I'm trying to relearn everything at this point. Home, shiro, which is white. Roku, which is 6. Koshi, I don't know what that is. Meshi, I've heard that. Meshi, I've heard that. Yume, me. Yeah, Yume, okay. Hanyo, Tsuyoi, Otosu, Okoro, Ametsu, Hanyo, Shimeru, Mutsume. Alright, perfect. And oh, that's nice. I've cleared that out now. Alright, so the main kana. Good. Oh, we already got into the dakuo, which is the little 2 at the top there. I didn't realize that. Okay, cool. Alright. I think yeah, because for me it's 2:08 right now my time, so I'm actually gonna kind of call it for the night. Let me switch back over to chatting here. Did I even have the BGM here? No, I didn't. I had that. Oh wait, this is the other one. Let me see. Yeah, that's nice. All right. All right. So I want to thank everyone who stopped by. Saif Al-Akbar, I appreciate you, hanging in the background there, no problem. And I hope you enjoyed your time here, because I know it's mostly just me studying Japanese, but I do still appreciate you visiting those of us who are a little smaller. And thank you to Vucky and to Empty. Thank you guys as well for always stopping by. I really appreciate it. It was a nice, I enjoyed the chatting one, especially when I start going off on really, really freaking weird tangents and just lose it for like an hour. But I really appreciate the time. So, thank you again. I thank you for joining me tonight. Give me a nice little way to run down my day and start off the weekend. So, I'm going to try, maybe, I want to try to get back into the Tuesday, Thursday schedule again. I think my recording projects are, thankfully I'm not like too behind on production schedule, so I think I could do Tuesday and Thursday next week. I want to see if I can get the issues resolved with my avatar on gaming. I don't know what happened. I still have to figure that out, but if I can, great. If not, I'll probably maybe do another just chatting on Tuesday, but I'll post on Twitter or in the community tab on YouTube here. But thank you again. I really appreciate everyone stopping by, giving me somebody to talk to. And I hope you have a good weekend. Or the rest of your weekend. I hope if you don't have to work, or if you do, hopefully it works out good and that you can actually have a nice time and not be stressed out and have to deal with people that are jerks. And get ready to have a good prep for you next week. So thank you again, and take care. Have a good night.